Hi, and we are back for HVAC Talk, Let's Be Real. My name's Renee, I'm one of the owners of LCS.
My name's Travis, I'm a service tech with LCS.
Okay, so we're going to talk this week about leaks. You may have heard the phrases that your air conditioner needs topped off, or it's low on charge, it's low on refrigerant. If somebody hears that, Travis, what does that mean?
It typically means that the system is leaking into the atmosphere. They have a leak, so it should never leak. It's an enclosed system.
Okay, so are there ever instances when a system might be low on refrigerant but not have a leak?
Very rare, but one case is the system wasn't properly charged when it was first installed. If it's too cold outside, it's hard to charge that system. Or second, they're getting it stolen. So, like I said, very rare, but
it can happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
That can happen, absolutely. Being undercharged from the initial install can be a little bit more common, so
Yes.
it might just need tweaked from that initial install. Now, most of the time though, if a system is low on charge or low on refrigerant, it means that there is a leak in the system somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you find these leaks?
Typically when we get to the home, we determine which way we want to do it. We do a leak search, nitrogen, dye, whatever may be the
Okay.
best for your fit.
Okay, so you would make that determination, that judgment call when you're out there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where in the system are leaks generally at? Are they usually in one specific area?
No, most of the time it can be sporadic, outdoor unit, condenser, line set, copper lines, or evaporator coil.
Okay, so it sounds to me like leaks can be hard to find.
They can be, yes.
Okay, so how can they be hard to find? If they're leaking refrigerant out anywhere, I mean, how can you not just find it?
Like I said, there's so many different places. You got the outside, you got the line set, and then you have the inside. If it's a pinhole leak, you're not going to find it right away. Maybe if it's a big leak and it's leaked some oil out, you can typically find it then a little bit quicker.
Okay.
But typically it is kind of hard to find.
Okay, so the size of the leak definitely matters
Yes.
as well. And think about what he said, a pinhole. So a leak can be so small, the size of a pinhole, it can make it really hard to find. So it
Yes.
might take a couple of trips out there to even find the leak. And that may be why when you add refrigerant, it seems to last for a year. It's
Yes.
because that leak is so small, right?
Yep.
Now, what about if the leak is bigger? Will that refrigerant that you've just added last for a year?
No, typically a few days, maybe a month.
Okay.
You know.
That's also why if you just choose to have refrigerant added to your system, companies are not going to warranty that because it is going to leak out.
Oh yes,
Okay.
It definitely will.
It could last you a year, it could last you a few days, but it's going to leak out. So we always say that's the equivalent of just taking your money and letting it fly out the window or something because adding refrigerant to your system is not a repair.
No,
Okay.
it is not.
So as far as the repair itself goes, what are we looking at? Is it a pretty simple repair usually? Is it more in depth?
Once we determine where the leak is by the leak search, then we go into what needs to be repaired. Is it a copper line that we can just braze simply, or is it a coil that we got to replace?
Okay, so can a coil be repaired or does it always have to be replaced?
It always has to be replaced.
It does. So you could have the indoor coil, the outdoor coil.
Yes.
Okay. Now, warranty is definitely going to play a role in that. If the coil is under warranty, it might make sense to do that replacement, right?
Yeah, it definitely would. I mean, if it's newer, under the 10 years, and you got an evaporator coil that's leaking, it's under warranty, yeah, it can definitely be a little bit cheaper, a lot cheaper, than replacing the whole system.
Okay. So if you choose not to replace that coil that's leaking, your only other option is to replace the system.
Yes.
To replace the whole air conditioner. Okay.
Yes.
So what about if it's out of warranty?
If it's out of warranty, depends. Is it the new refrigerant or is it the old refrigerant? And how long do you expect that unit to last is a big question.
Okay, so you can easily be looking at a few $1,000s
Yes.
to replace a coil that's out of warranty. So a lot of times it's not going to make sense to put that money into an older system. It's going to make that
Definitely
sense to put that money into a new system that comes with a new warranty and all of that good stuff.
Yes.
Now, that's something that you would be able to talk to the homeowner about when you were out there.
Most definitely, we can determine what the best solution is for you.
Okay, so remember the leak test itself, that doesn't make any repair at all. That just finds your leak to determine what the repair is, what cost would be, that sort of thing. So generally, you're not going to get out of a leak test and a repair or a coil replacement for just a few $100s.
No.
Like if you have a leak, you're going to be looking at probably a significant investment, whichever way you go, because you've got to find it and to fix it.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So I hope that gives you some great information there. Just remember that if you hear somebody say that they've got to top off their AC, or even if you're thinking you got to top it off, you've really got a leak. That refrigerant should not be going anywhere. It is a closed up system. And so, talk to your HVAC technician and find out what are your options.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope that gives you some great information this week. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on HVAC Talk. Let's be real.